And we're back, baby, with the Orc versus Elves. Guys, don't forget, this is much different from the Troll versus Elves that you guys usually watch, but goddamn did you guys enjoy the last Orc versus Elf video. Oh my god, I got an absurd amount of views, so good amount of support as well. I did say if we reach about 150 likes or something crazy like that, I would do the Elf perspective. Listen, we actually beat it by quite a margin. So, guys, I am bringing you the Elf perspective of the actual game. Dude, Orc versus Elves is pretty fun. There's some potential. As Akira said in the comments, this game has some potential. Listen, I'm looking forward to this kind of showcase. Obviously, this is recorded, the audio a little bit afterwards. So I'll be kind of commentating and analyzing the game as it occurs. But guys, this game was crazy. Absolutely insane. We got a very stacked lobby at the moment. A lot of the familiar faces. Big shout out to all these boys. These guys are awesome people, by the way. So we kind of, I mean, both teams are kind of stacked. I'm not gonna lie. There's the map developer. I feel like a lot of these map representatives are in this lobby, so it should be a pretty good game. Like, everyone in this game is good. Like, all of the players are decent. So you guys will get pretty much the top level gameplay as much, as it's freaking possible, right? Since these guys are the best of the best. So, we're jumping into the game. We're playing as Elf. We have this little wisp. So, essentially what we're going to be doing is gathering a little bit of gold. At the beginning of the game, it's pretty slow. It's pretty chill. You pretty much put a gold mine down, and you pretty much wait for the income to go up. You want to go for that greed. Get as much greed going as possible. Get them upgrades. And pretty much evade as many grunts as possible. So, you kind of want to be evasive, right? Place a few of these blockers down as you're pretty much like roaming around the map and figuring out a place where you could just, stay relaxed and just farm some gold. That's all you freaking want. Chill, farm some gold, and pretty much get some nice tech for the future, right? So, I mean, we're pretty much farming. There's a pretty cool thing you could do while you're playing Elf. You can also deny your blockers, right? So you can pretty much place walls down as you're pathing towards a different area. And pretty much what you do is you auto-attack the wall that you're actually building. So the grunts don't actually get the gold from it. So there's some fun strategies as wisps early on that you could pretty much use to pretty much prevent as much farming from the grunts as possible, right? So the more you farm, the more advantages you create for yourself, and the less feed you give to the grunts, obviously, right? So we want to prevent these dick mother truckers. I almost swear there, but yeah, we want to prevent them from farming. That's pretty much it. So a lot of close calls, happen. It is what it is. You kind of have to like build these walls, prevent these grunts from kind of like catching you off guard. So you want to obviously block your path. You obviously want to be blocking your path. You're limited on the amount of like blockers you could get. I feel like you're limited at 4 at the beginning, but as you get more tech, you'll be able to build more. So at the beginning, we went for this perk. So everyone has one perk, as you see from the top right hand corner of your screen. Everyone has the one crystal. So you could pretty much pick a perk. We picked the technology perk, which allows you to build this like very nice tech center, which allows you to first, it's a little bit smaller, and second, it is, I think, is it less costly if I'm not mistaken, but I'll have the information probably on screen. But essentially, it allows you to pretty much like tech really fast. I think research speed or something is increased. But anyways, it's a tech, essentially. Tech, we went for the tech tree, right? So it allows us to go for further tech, which is going to be useful down the line, But again, at the beginning, it's pretty much all down to just farming a lot of gold. Saving gold, a little bit like in vampirism, we want to be saving a decent amount of, like, our pool of gold needs to be relatively high, and we already need to have some sort of upgrade before we start basing. A little bit like in Vamp, you can't start basing because you don't have the resources yet to finance a base, right? A base requires a good amount of walls, right? It requires a good amount of towers, good amount of workers to sustain the expenses and all that stuff. So it does require a lot of your a lot of resources. So you can't afford to base right away. So you kind of have to like chill for a bit, just gather resources and hope for the best in the future, right? So that's pretty much what we're going to be attempting to do, and hopefully we're going to be able to transition pretty well to the late game, or I guess mid game to late game, and at least actually start basing. And here we go, guys. We place the tech center down, and it's time to tech up, right? Basically, what we need at the moment is just get 2 times architecture, right? The architecture allows us to get a little bit more supply and also gives us our walls a little bit more HP and armor. So I'm able to start basing, right? That's the most important thing, is just get architecture tier 2. Whenever you obviously have enough gold, around like I would say 200, 300 gold, you should be able to get pretty much 2 times the upgrade and start basing. So we are considering basing in the bottom left area. Some areas on the map are a little bit better for bases. If you type dash marker, it kind of shows you exactly where you need to place your towers and your walls according to the kind of layout of the actual map, which is pretty cool. So it's a very new friendly kind of information that you could, you're going to be able to use, which is pretty cool. So we have X, which marks the spot for the towers, and O's marks the spot for those blockers, which is super cool. So we have enough gold for both of those towers. So I think we're going to be taking straight to fire. I see a lot of people going for lightning. I feel like lightning or fire are both viable options for tower attacks. So at the moment, we're going to be attacking. It costs us 50 gold. Once you get that, you're going to be able to get both of your towers to fire attack, obviously doing a little bit more damage, which is obviously very good. They even have some abilities, which I'll be discussing a little bit later. But essentially, it's just get those towers up. Obviously, they do require a little bit of food, so that's why you saw me get architecture tier 2. So these guys are pretty much like most of my teammates are going for a lot of like towers instead of upgraded towers. I don't know if like massing towers is better than actually getting towers that are upgraded. So for example, in my case, I'm going for fire towers. Those guys are just going for regular towers. So I don't know what is their strategy behind it. Maybe it's easier. It costs a little bit less gold, less of investment. Maybe they want to tech into archers and all that stuff. So I think that's probably the case whenever we're playing as a team. So obviously in this game, you really have to cooperate with your team. In this case, we're all basing in kind of like the same quadrant of the map, right? So we're all covering the bottom left area of the map. So multiple entrances, obviously, to the base, but we're all pretty much all covering. So we have blue covering the top side, orange in the middle, and I'm covering the bottom side. So everyone has a job. Everyone has a job. Speaking of jobs, as you're playing the game, you'll notice that a lot of these, so basically everyone has a class, right? So you could be a trapper, you could be a base defend guy, you could be, what's it called, an army dude.
How did I get to be so intelligent? I don't think I can give my parents all the credit.
So it really depends, it depends on your playstyle. But basically I'm going to be the base guy. So essentially I'm just going to be focusing my, most of my gold into upgrades on my walls and also on my towers. So that's why you see me heavily focus on those upgrades. Basically, some of my teammates, as you see, Red is going for a lot of armies, so like archers. So he's going to be most likely going for archer upgrades or army upgrades. You know what I mean? And it really depends what's your playstyle. I know Pink, that he's very arrogant, by the way. You'll see him play. He'll do some MLG plays. Try to trap some grunts. So he needs to give himself a little bit more armor on his main guy, a little bit of movement speed. So if he's playing as a trapper, right, trying to trap the grunts and hopefully, get some trap kills, right? So as many kills as we get, the better it is, right? You want to prevent these guys from farming. As you're seeing, we are doing a decent amount of damage, and we're preventing these guys to just like keep farming, right? So now I'm pretty much wondering, is it better to go for construction or architecture? But obviously the best upgrade, as my teammates mention, is construction for very obvious reasons, because it gives your towers more damage. Since it gives your towers more damage, the grunts farm less. It's as simple as that. So we want to be getting those as soon as we can. It allows us to just keep a lot of pressure on these grunts and prevent them from farming, because the more gold they get, the more upgrades they can get as well, and the more chances they have at pretty much like breaching our base. So as you will see, we're just fortifying our base. We're going to be getting this nice blaze upgrade, which increases the attack speed on our towers by quite a bit, like 50% or something like that, for 8 seconds, and has a 1-minute cooldown. So it's not so bad. It's a decent upgrade in case you get a lot of pressure. But let's start fortifying, guys. Let's start fortifying. All right, so as you're noticing, this guy literally, this is what I mean about a trapper. We call him, you know, the arrogant gamer. Let's be honest. Like this guy, he places a tower down, and there's a mechanic in Warcraft. The way it works is essentially you're able to move multiple blocks if your kind of like unit or main guy is stuck. So basically, you're literally purposely making yourself stuck in the dryer, and it kicks you out, basically, right? And it literally kicks you out. It's so weird, but that's literally the mechanic. I mean, the best analogy for me to just to kind of give you guys an example is sheep tag. If you guys have ever played sheep tag and you were stuck in a specific area, you would essentially place multiple farms, and you would place like in a way that it blocks you. And the last one, you would place it on yourself. And since you have no area, your main guy doesn't have an area to actually build that last farm, since you're basically covering all the slots, it would put you out. So it literally would TP you out to the next available area. And that's exactly what's happening here, right? It's the exact same thing. It's just a like weird Warcraft mechanic. So it is what it is, guys. Okay, it is what it is. Don't ask. It is what it is. So anyways, at this point, guys, what we're doing is just getting some nice tech. We're just farming, minding our own business. You know what I mean? See what I did there? And literally just getting gold, getting some upgrades, preventing these grunts from just farming. So it's very, very just chill at the moment. So I feel like these grunts need to make a move ASAP, or else, you know, we're going to be starting to get a lot of like map pressure, map control, and these grunts won't be able to do anything. So at this stage, it's all about like harvesting enough gold to actually push out of the current location we are. So essentially, we want to like kind of suffocate these grunts into the back into a corner and just eliminate them with either our armies, our towers, or our walls, and just block them in a specific area and just pretty much keep spawn killing them. Essentially, that's our trick. So the game ends whenever one team eliminates the others. So we have to be aggressive in this case. Since we have a base, they won't be pushing our base because it's too well defended. So we will have to be we will have to take the initiative to take these guys out, essentially. So that's what you guys will be seeing throughout the next few minutes. Yeah, this is a perfect moment. Poor Zillion is literally stuck in between a rock in a hard place, and he somehow makes it out. I don't even understand how that's even possible. But this is what I mean about that mechanic. This was a literally perfect display. See, he places a wall on top of himself to just TP to a different area. And he literally just like styles, like MLG styles on these guys. And it's so, he just makes it look so easy, you know what I mean? But as a grunt, that's the problem. Whenever you're playing a grunt, you're just like a piece of meat that literally is it's just so thick and just can't like, it has no mobility, you know what I mean? Just a big piece of meat that just swings his axe and literally doesn't do anything. But yeah. As a wisp, it's so easy. Look at this guy. He's just toying it. He's literally toying with these guys. It's so freaking funny. But I was having a blast. Yeah, I guess he was entertaining us, right? He was entertaining us. Just, running around. This is so stupid. Running around the gold mine, just making it look so easy. You know what I mean? But I feel like he gets caught here, doesn't he? No, look at that. Look at that. It's just too easy. It's just too easy. He blocks himself. He hits that regeneration, which is one of his GG Pank. It's one of his abilities, which you could get a skill set later on if you do get the research for it. So I'll place one of these Ancient of War down so you guys could see the upgrades. But look at this. Yeah, it just gets completely wrecked here. That's the thing. Sometimes it could work. Arrogant gamer. That I'm telling you, this guy. But yeah, I mean, listen, it can work sometimes, but whenever there's two grunts, it's usually not advised to kind of like try to break out or try to trap the grunts, because the second grunt will obviously kill you unless you have a lot of HP or some nice utility like the invisibility perk and all that stuff. So there's some ways. I mean, there's probably a lot of ways you could do it. I'm gonna keep upgrading my walls to pretty much almost last tier. I think there's 2 more tiers after this one, so they do have quite a bit of listen, they have quite a bit of HP at the moment. I have 3 towers in the bottom side, a lot of like nice upgrades in this Tree of War. But the thing is, since obviously I'm the base guy, I'm not going to be going for any like offensive archers and all that stuff, because I've invested so much already into towers. So I'm better off just going for blockers, just towers, focus on my role, and that's pretty much it. So as you're seeing, we're pretty much getting some nice upgrades on my towers. I'm pretty much close to, this guy has 5 damage upgrades on his, the blue guy. And I'm pretty much at 3 at the moment. So I'm closing in on the 4th upgrade. It's looking pretty good. We got a decent amount of damage. And you see Pink again, being so disruptive, so freaking annoying. Everyone hates him. And he literally traps this other guy. These grunts are getting tilted. This guy's way too arrogant for his own good. And listen, at this point, he's playing like a god. He's just so good, making moves. You know what I mean? I respect it. I respect it. Listen, he's playing really well. It is what it is. We're gonna give him that. He's a good player, right? Okay. He's kind of flexing on us a little bit, but you know, whenever you're good, you gotta flex. You gotta flex. I feel like whenever you're good at something, you have to flex. Are you good? Are you guys the type of people to flex whenever you're good at something? I feel like you should, right? Why wouldn't you? Like, let's say you're like a big bodybuilder or whatever. Why wouldn't you flex your muscles? I mean, listen, you have big muscles, might as well just flex them, right? It's like me playing, you know, I don't know, like Hellholt.
Why the fuck you lying?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I'm not good at Hellholt. Okay, I'll shut up. No, but basically, guys, at this moment, it's all about expansion. So we took a very good center portion. So we're kind of like slowly but surely building outwards. You see me still being in the same area for quite a few minutes, but I'm just making sure that I get enough gold so I'm able to push out. And listen, I have 4 damage upgrades, all chaos damage, all my towers, which is pretty cool. I'll also be getting a nice perk which allows me to sell structures for 50% refund, which is obviously pretty good. It will allow me to kind of like push forward and start basing elsewhere, which is obviously very good. And we just have to expand towards the right. And our objective is to go towards the center. That's where pretty much they will heal a little bit like in Troll versus Elves. The Troll will be going in the center to just heal, buy items and all that stuff. But yeah, we did a few like miss attempts to expand because it's kind of difficult whenever these guys are, you know, going for their next tech. So you see this guy having a shaman, obviously a little bit starting to be pretty difficult. They're starting to get their next classes. So game might scale from this point on, right? So we want to make sure to not make too many mistakes, because one small mistake, you know what I mean? It's either of these players, me red or blue. If we make one mistake, right? If we die, the whole base opens up, right? And that's the bad part. So we cannot afford to make any sort of mistakes because, I mean, we all depend on each other after all, right? So every single part or wisp, especially us 3, are critical to obviously the base layout at the moment. So what we're going to be doing is slowly but surely getting a little bit more gold and start to expand on specific areas like bottom side, middle, and then we push forward, get more space, suffocate these grunts, and pretty much kill them. That's pretty much our game plan here, which we're going to be attempting to do. So as you see, another like attempt here, but it's very difficult whenever you see this freaking Tauren, man. This Tauren is tough. He's doing an extra amount of damage to these walls. I think he has the siege upgrade and also some damage upgrades. He does quite a bit of damage, let's just say that. But listen, I built a few towers. I feel like we're a lot of wisps here, so we can definitely help each other out. I'm native, like my walls are a little useless according to these players. Apparently my walls weren't even blocking. So yeah, I'm very bad at this game. Apparently I'm very bad. So again, now I need construction because I can't even upgrade my towers. No, not construction, architecture, right? So architecture is the most important upgrade. It allows you to upgrade your walls and also get you a little bit more food. So as you see, we're getting pressure from multiple sides, but we're doing a pretty good job at just kind of like pushing these grunts back. Even though they're farming a decent amount, we're still doing a pretty good job. So we did kind of, you know, settle ourselves in this kind of small expansion in the bottom. So we're kind of happy, right? We're kind of happy. So still, we still have some work to do to kind of like secure this position, but we've done some decent work, I think. So we just have to like hold the attacks from these guys. But the thing is, like, Pink is being very disruptive, kind of always. So the grunts, as you see, they're always scared about Pink. They know that he wants to trap them, right? He knows he wants to trap him. He's very slippery, like a little fish, you know, out of the water after you fish him. You know what I mean? He's just very slippery, right? So that's pretty much that's the way you play it, right? So that's the way you play it. So at the moment we secure this position. I'm very happy, And it just blue and red need to start expanding too. But I think they're focusing more on units. We're even seeing hippogriffs at the moment, which is absolutely insane. So you can mount those archers on top of hippogriffs. And obviously that's super good because they have more mobility. They can probably travel over walls and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But most of these guns do have anti-air, so they do hit air, which is pretty good. But look at this. Look at this. Pink traps 2-player. How does he freaking do it, man? I'm so confused. Like he's so freaking good. But yeah, we get ourselves the next perk, the magic perk, which is super good, and we're able to sell our structures. Another thing here is so there's a thing called BB, okay, or backdoor. Apparently, I'm not allowed, and at least it's known in the community that you're not allowed to backdoor or back block. So you're not allowed to block an orc from the back, or else it would be too difficult. So essentially, I wasn't aware about this rule. You know, this generic, you know, kind of like underlying rule that these guys apply to their kind of like community, which I didn't know about, to be honest. I don't play this game often enough to know about it, but now, since I've blocked him, I need to pay the ultimate price, feed him 100 gold because he needs to kind of revive, right? So since it's a rule, I'm not allowed to. So it kind of sucks, but you know, the thing is, Pink was doing the exact same thing, but he was kind of like blocking them from the front, essentially, right? So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I guess it's a rule. It just makes sense. Listen, we're going to obey the rules. I'm sorry. Happens to the best of us. We learn. It is what it is. So at this point, listen, I'm kind of getting a little bit, not anxious, but listen, I want to make some moves. Listen, we have to make some moves. We're limited on resources. We do not have time to waste. We have to go for the center. So I'm starting to make like dumb moves. I'm making like random walls around the map, and I kind of want to expand, right? The thing is, I'm limited on the amount of blockers I could build. So we really do want to like suffocate these grunts into the center, right? So that would be the ideal case scenario. Just put them like, funnel them back to the center, and that's pretty much it. Build towers and just leave them there, right? So that's what we're going to be seeing me doing. Now, listen, I've expanded a few times, which is good, but I'm slowly but surely making progress. So it's very slow. The progress is very slow, I'm not going to lie. You see orange, me, pink, we're all working together, and hopefully this is as close as it gets from the center, right? So we're by the way, there's natural blockers from the left side of my base, as you see right now. Those natural blockers, grunts cannot pass through, so it's just the way the map is set up, basically. So we blocked the Vol'jin is stuck. Vol'jin is stuck, and now we're gonna be placing some towers to take the guy out as soon as possible. Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so freaking good. And now he's just stuck. There's nothing he can do. He's gonna have to spend so much gold to revive there. Hopefully he's gonna have enough. His teammates can probably pull him, but we've settled a strong position as center, guys. Guys, at the moment, we can even build in the center. So if we remove these grunts from the center, they cannot heal anymore, right? So we're slowly but surely taking away space on the map, and we're slowly but surely taking away kind of their resources, right? So we're forcing them to in dire situations, right? So that's what we're going to be attempting to do. So now we have very good towers, right? You know, we're literally throwing these towers inside the lion's den, right? So let's see how we can do it. Like, we're pressuring these guys as much as we can. The Tauren's so freaking tanky, man, this guy. Look at this lightning towers, man. They do quite a bit of damage. Like ice walls, lightning. Yeah, this blues guy is being very aggressive, but you know, the difference between lightning and fire towers, I feel like lightning has so much more range. Probably a little bit less damage, because my towers actually have chaos damage, so obviously very good. I think the lightning towers do magic damage, so obviously it will do a little bit less damage to the enemy orcs, but you know, it's still pretty good. It kind of depends on what kind of tech. All of them have, like, you know, some good I guess pros and cons, basically. So you see all my teammates just making a lot of moves, just moving forward their units, kind of like pressuring the orcs, pushing them towards more the right side of the base. So the only thing is they could kind of loop around, and as you see, the shaman is smart. He just looped around. He's like, dude, what if I just take you guys out? Right? So what if I just go around and just you know, complete, like this guy bamboozles us, literally. Like, we didn't expect these guys to literally loop around and go through the bottom. So that's a big vulnerability for us, and that's the funny part. So I'm really, like, literally not prepared for this. So again, now I'm slowly but surely selling most of my my towers so I could just push forward. Because blockers, as you see here, I'm limited to 15 at the moment. So I do want to make sure that, ooh, here comes a shaman again. We're not ready for this. We're literally not ready, man. It's so bad. It's so bad. But now I guess we just have to like kind of loop around and hope for the best. But yeah, it's kind of awkward. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of awkward. Like I should have settled this area a little bit better because I got so tunnel vision on the kind of like middle control, right? That I forgot about them looping around, which is the problem. But I feel like I'm doing a good job just kind of like preventing this guy from helping his teammates. I don't know. He's just like kind of doing whatever in the bottom, right? I mean, he is getting a lot of gold from these towers, but I should probably just deny them with my wisp, which is good enough. Which is good enough for sure. Don't need to be worried too much about that. But he did get a lot of gold. So every time a orc attacks any other structure than a wall, they do get a lot of bounty from it. So that's a big thing to kind of remember. So here, I'm going to probably place a few towers, just kind of slowly but surely kind of fortify, right? Again, I'm very, I don't know what I'm supposed to think about this, but Shaman literally is in our base at the moment. So we have an intruder, right? We literally have an intruder. And here, I do not want to place a wall behind it because that would be technically back block again. Again, I'm not too sure about this rule. I don't know how I feel about it. But I don't know if I'm allowed to put a wall here. It would just be blocking the shaman. But he purposely, you know, went in our base. So I don't know if this would be considered back blocking. But you guys let me know down in the comments if you guys think this is back blocking. Because technically it's behind them. You know, I don't know. It is what it is. It doesn't matter. He's still in our base. But he's not going to be doing too much. He's not going to be causing us too many issues. Because I feel like most of our areas are kind of like well fortified. Yeah, this shaman, man, it's just in the bottom there, being such a nuisance, man. Unbelievable. But I got the last tier wall, which is the kind of like this voidling or void wall, which is super good. Quite tanky. Like, it's very difficult for kind of Taurens or any orcs to get through this one. But at this point, it's impossible. Like, the shaman was stuck. Like, he wasn't able to get out of there. It is what it is. Riders took care of him. So that was pretty much all she wrote for him. And it's all up to a few more Taurens left, and we just have to push. We just have to push. We have so many units, so many upgrades. It's very difficult for Taurens or Orcs to do anything at this point because there's too many freaking units on the map for them to do anything. Like, obviously, they will be getting a lot of gold from just farming these. Every hit gives them so much gold, right? So it's pretty much time to end. It's pretty much time to end. So as you see, red is collapsing with orange, and they're all working together to take out these last few Taurens. They don't do that much damage. I feel like they are very well upgraded. Good amount of armor upgrades. Well, pretty much maxed out armor upgrades and maxed out damage upgrades. So at this point, it's pretty much straightforward. We're going to be blocking them, using our army to just, you know, kind of eliminate the last players. At some point, they won't have enough to rebuy onto the map because all of to revive, it does cost gold. So that's pretty much killing the medic, killing the Taurens, and that's pretty much all she wrote. They're going to be reviving a few more times, but there's nothing they could do, guys. There's literally nothing they could do. We're just too strong at this point. So it's such a good display of Elf, in my opinion. I feel like this is probably the best, you know, Elf display, in my opinion. I feel like we all played so well. I played my role really well. I could have probably went a little bit more aggressive with maybe some units. I could do that in the future if you guys want to see me do it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about this game. I feel like it was super fun. Good victory for ya boy and the Elves. Two fantastic, phenomenal, actually, perspectives for Orc versus Elves. If you guys want to see more of this in the future, let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for the support. As always, have a good day. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.